damage, immediately the two most susceptible people is going to be their jungle as well as their mid laner. Eve has to be extremely careful when she uses that real world manipulation. Malik trying to calm down, hide, making sure that they are going to perform well this time round. But yeah, win conditions has to be targeting that mid laner. If they can get Anip, and that's a really big if, we'll see what his battle spells are, see if he's susceptible once we get into game.
And I think this gold lane matchup is a bit more wide open, right? You don't have this directly dominant gold laner in a Claude matchup, which is very rare overall, but in this case, I think Anip will be very happy with the arrangement. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the derby between the Flame Boys and the Niners kicking off right now, the final best of 3 of this wonderful Sunday. Homebois against Mpxnsea.
All right, let's get right into it with Mpxnsea. Sonic going to be starting on the purple side of the map, while GB, same as well, going to be mirrored opposite. They're going to end up, at least for Mpxnsea, they're going to be ending up on towards that top side gold, while Akai should be showing up down by EXP. So they want to play for strong side to a certain degree, and they know that Anip is, well, I mean, considering how many seasons he's played, he is a very stable gold laner.
And I also want to quickly point out that both Anip and Warlord are running the Purify, right? So now it's going to make Hai's job slightly harder despite having the Petrify. We talk about that battle spell timing, Mpxnsea needs to be even more aware of it.
Yeah, I think especially in the early game, if they can get a free kill onto Barbosa, that would be ideal once they hit level 4, but looking at the emblems, nothing too out of the ordinary here. You've got health on Fredrin, he decides to go for Quantum Charge, attack speed for the Wan, that totally makes sense. Movement speed for both the Paquito as well as the Yuzong, but Quantum Charge instead of going for the traditional Brave Smite.
Now Mali-chan will be locked in that mid lane for a little bit because Hai is getting pressure, as well, losing early trade against Sabat. That is kind of expected. If you just miss one of that first kill shield, you're going to lose the trade. Sabat is running the Brave Smite though, so he's not looking to run you down, he's looking to survive in lane.
Yep, and more importantly, with that Petrify, if he can use it, he can probably get a kill in lane or force to actually blow his Flicker and a recall at the same time if he catches him pushing too far forward.
Oh, there is the of nature for Mali-chan, so no problem right there. Turtle is going to be coming up. Again, we're not expecting support to hit level 4, but Shibi is going to get Mali-chan down low, so he will clear out the mid wave, do it for Hai. But Hai will also need to wait for that level 4.
Yeah, Mali-chan is going to have to recall at some point of time. I don't think he's going to have enough health to really be a threat here. Spot suspecting a potential gank down bot side.
Oh, Mali-chan in danger. They do get the knockout from Hai, but he's not level 4 yet, so Barbosa feeling very confident to go for the challenge. And now, there's a bit of a problem. This Grok is not healthy. To the back, finding Warlord. First blood actually obtained by Hai onto Barbosa. The Turtle does get secured by Homebois though, but Chibi now trapped. Sabat by his side. What a furious dive knockout. They all take a ride into the air. Mpxnsea finding 2 instead.
Huge finds. And Sabat, he's able to find another kill here. That would be ideal, but is going to make it as tough as possible for him to turn back into the lane. The Sha residue procs, and I think, Sabat recognizes that this quadrant of the map, even if it is a 2v1, should be good for him.
As much as Mpxnsea had the numbers, remember, Homebois in this close quarter combats have the AoE to deal with it, right? Sabat alone could be a big threat for Mpxnsea early on when they do not have the damage.
With and his early game damage taking out Warlord to actually skew the way that the EXP is going to go, expect to see it again, right? Expect to see play similar to how he did yesterday, where all he's doing is looking for these big flanks, hopping over walls with his jab, and then targeting the mid laner to take away the utility.
And Sabat is just straight out winning the lane because he has forced, I believe, 2 recalls from And now without the Flicker, life is going to get a bit harder. Barbosa out of range for that rough waves. Real manipulation is going to be used. High pin to the wall, and he will go down.
Nice follow-up coming in from both Barbosa as well as GB, locking them down inside the real-world manipulation. We have an idea of what the combo is going to start looking like or being used later on. Sabat, I think his lane is so very scary. Like, despite being a full level ahead of if is able to get that flank off, and unfortunately for Sabat doesn't secure kills on his side, it's going to be a losing match.
Again, Sabat does have the Brave Smite, so very decent spellbound to get that heal back. His health still in a decent state, turns into the Black Dragon form, comes right down. Couldn't find a kill on but maybe yes, actually just enough with the Sha residue.
Unlucky. Sonic wasn't able to land one more ability so that he could at least try to finish off the kill with the Appraiser's Grab. Nicely done coming in from the Homebois, and Chibi very close by just in case anything went wrong. This means it should be a pretty free turtle for the side of the Homebois. But the question is, do they want to rush this or do they want to bait out a fight?
I feel like Homeboy can wait a bit, right? But not sure if he intends to join, but he is going to be around at the turtle pit. 40 more seconds until Petrify comes back up. Black Dragon Form also still on cooldown. Barbosa keeping Hyde away. Mpxnsea looking for some sort of contest, but Chibi is going to use that ultimate, pin them to the wall, and even secures the turtle with retribution. Rough Waves will get used. But is the target, but he keeps the safety. And now Appraiser's Grab used by Sonic. Damage insufficient to kill Barbosa. Zap a bit too far forward, but does get the crossbow tang off. Looking for a double. Barbosa can't really find it, but they do get Chibi.
He actually survives that. Barbosa recognizes that he couldn't keep on hitting that front line. He started zoning off the next three, and once the crossbow of Tang was over, he needed to get out. Luckily, his synergy with Warlord is great. Dropping down that Void Crystal slow things down so that Mpxnsea could not follow up and pick up another kill.
And the fact that Zap joined the fight and got a kill, that is definitely a big boon for Mpxnsea. They're behind in net worth, but this 1-1 can appreciate these early go injections.
Yeah, and I think, Homeboys need to be really careful because Sabat is going to be a giant red flag for Mpxnsea, especially when his cooldowns are already finished, and more importantly, if he gets on top of that backline. Like Zavs, if he loses out on his in-build Purify, it's going to be tough once he's locked inside the real-world manipulation.
You also see this gridlock between Ye and Sabat happening for a while, and you can kind of expect Sabat to win a majority of the trade, but Ye is just looking to cut the waves. And they're also trying to supplement Zav, who is almost a full level behind Anip, who doesn't have a care in the world because there's nothing that Mpxnsea can do to him.
Yeah, he's just maintaining his art of thievery. That's why he's doing a good amount of damage and has plenty of movement speed to get around. I think it's starting to ramp up for the side of the Homeboys. They recognize that, yeah, Anip has basically been doing whatever he wants. He's got a full lead on the Zobs right now. The EXP lane is pretty much done for unless somebody tries to attempt to skew the lane in favor of Yeah. But I would imagine that Mpxnsea, they gotta unlock some of their side laners.
Yeah. I think you just leave Ye out to dry for now, right? As long as he doesn't die and shift your focus over to the Kadita or the 1-1.
I don't know. I think they need to unlock it because right now Ye is the only person who really threatens Warlord other than Hyde. And I think he can absorb a lot of attention to himself to set things up for a full combination with Petrify into Rough Waves.
The turtle number 3, started by Homeboys, that Guardian's Barrier puts the turtle on the wrong side. GB does have the Guardian helmet, so it's not the easiest to get through. Earth Shatter from Barbosa on the Sonic, Roman collision use as well. Sabat instantly engages with the Black Dragon form, and Mali will go down without any sort of resistance. Ani will also join the fight. Sonic risk can't be there. Rough Waves. Not enough. Barbosa survives a little bit, but Sonic will find the finisher. Now Sonic himself needs to get out, and he will be able to do so, but a heavy spin pushes him away from the tier 1, but thankfully into the safe quadrants of his jungle.
So Homeboys, they want to fight. They want to get into the middle of these team fights and start the combination with the real world manipulation plus X. This could be the heavy spin. This could even be the setup coming in from Sabat with Petrify. Barbosa, probably the biggest perpetrator of this. Now they secure the turtle.
And while that was happening, Mpxnsea actually unlocked the top tier 1 as well. Ye took that turret away, but Mali-chan will end up going down once more as he overextends.
Yep, now on him, he's looking so clean. Warlord no. Nearly going down there.
Barbosa also caught Zap, and forced out the default Purify. Zap does get away. I mean, all these considered, Mpxnsea, at least they got something in return.
That is fair. That is fair. 4 minutes with a 51% prediction win rate, and then 8 minutes it turned straight into Mpxnsea's favor. 65% predicted by our AI winning prediction.
What are the metrics to get to that conclusion, right? Because I mean, we don't have too much of a goal differential between both teams, and Mpxnsea, they lost all 3 turtles, only got 2 tier 1s on the side lane, but do they have any advantage over Homeboys right now?
Well, I think, a couple of advantages that they do actually have. Number one is the fact that they have the 1-1, they can actually scale and deal some very relevant damage to the side of the Homeboys. You would like to believe that they are super tanky, but honestly, that's just Chibi and Barbosa. Everybody else won't have as many items as a dedicated tank.
Yeah. Having some of that pressure alleviated. Again, he's not running the Brave Smite, right? So just pure quantum charge, pure damage, Hunter Strike, Bloodlust Axe. still going for more damage output. This guy just wants to get the one shot, and speaking about one shot, Warlord loses his life in the middle lane. Flicker forward, the Earth Shatter from Barbosa onto the high to get the trade back. Both mid laners straight down alive. Sonic will be there, but there's no damage follow-up so far from Mpxnsea. Zav late to the party, but Mpxnsea are thinking about sticking on the chibi. The taunt does miss though from Sonic, so Mpxnsea will have to push and pull a little bit.
Yep. They're going to have to continue dancing, but while this is happening, Mpxnsea have split up 4-1, and yeah, finding more pressure, getting a tier 2 at the same time, and it's not just yeah who's been getting these side lane pushes, it's also Zavs.
Yeah, we love these stuff from Mpxnsea, the macro, very impressive. Chibi taking massive damage, the great sword on top of his head, and he's dead.
Praises Wrath, so good, especially once you get that true damage. If you're stuck right in the middle of it, can be tough to deal with.
Oh, wow, charge gonna land onto the back line. Warlord is the target. Barbosa forced to use the ultimate very early on. Real manipulation is gonna be there. Sonic taking majority of the damage. Zab needs to get away. Subbat on top of him. The Furious Dive doesn't connect, and Zab gets off the ultimate to kill off Subbat. Mpxnsea gets the first Lord of the game.
This is huge. Oh, and they nearly get on him at the same time. Yeah, has his eyes out for blood.
And just like that, we see the first major goal lead in this game. 3K for Mpxnsea, and that is going to keep compounding with this Lord charging down the top lane.
It's actually looking so good for Mpxnsea. They're still playing as flexible as they can. They're abusing the fact that Homebois are sticking a little too close together in a clump just to try and set up these combos. Deny them that opportunity, play the map, find as much gold as you can across it, and then utilizing that lead during these upcoming neutral fights, whether it's Turtle or Lord, is highly beneficial.
The waves are getting synced up perfectly as well by Mpxnsea. Homebois has to make a decision, and of course, it will start with taking care of the Lord first. I mean, one of the main concerns is, can Zav survive getting dove by Subbat? I think we found that answer.
I mean, if he has the crossbow attack ready to go, as we saw how close it was, had Zav been hit by that Black Dragon Tail, it was basically over for him. So he's got to time his abilities as closely as possible.
Mari-chan is also starting to become a threat of a brick wall. Chibi isolated, forced to try and use that heavy spin to get away with Zab on top of him, but Zab, be careful. Wisdom Nature used to protect him and just enough to get him out of it. They even force Warlord and Onyx ultimate.
Pretty dangerous. Sabbat might just get a solo kill here. Yeah, can't get out.
That's the shield. Tries to queue up with the Bloodlust X. He's going to end up going down. He did draw 3 members from Homebois to it.
Very nice setup here, and more importantly, it's the perfect time to actually go for these types of 1v1s. You know that your battle spell is going to be on cooldown 55 more seconds compared to the Lord, which only spawns in 75 more seconds.
Yeah, he's going to have his flicker back up once he respawns, so Mpxnsea, they are also waiting for Zab's Inspire. Another 23 seconds for that to come back up. And so far, Zab, he has caught up with Anip, which is again a boon for Mpxnsea, and they are taking control of that top river.
Well, for how long they can possibly do this, I'm not entirely sure, but Mpxnsea love making this movement. No, wait. Homebois now starting to play the bottom side of the map. They're realizing that Anip is actually probably already done with his Trinity build. It's already 35k, so I can only imagine that he's actually ready to go now.
And lovely stuff from Sonic and Mali trying to open up the map, right? Checking every single crevice to make sure that Homebois can't pull up any cheeky maneuvers that they've done so many times. Just love that the front line's putting the bodies in front. Anip is going to get some damage off, but it's not a Fredrin who is going to heal back up. That's a Guardian helmet to work with.
Both teams. Oh,
Mali! Flicker's full body engaged. Needs a bit of a follow-up though. Chibi will be there with a heavy spin. Now Mali will be separated from the rest of his team as Subbat dives the back. Mali still alive. Blazing Duet used as well. Mali might be the first to go down. Sonic is isolated. High needs to be there. Doesn't connect the knockout. The Runaways follow though. They will get the kill. Hyde and Mali both go down on the side of Mpxnsea, but watch out for Zav. He's coming from behind. Is this going to be the moment of Zav to pop up? And yes, he does. Takes out Anip, but Barbosa is going to be next on the chopping block. A triple kill from Zav, and yay, will push Chibi away. Mpxnsea have unlocked this game.
They've finally done it. They finally broken them. Homebois crumbling as their front-to-back opposition gets flanked by a gold laner. Nicely played from Zav, recognizing the situation. They just played the team fight a little bit better, and the Homebois, unfortunately, especially for Warlord, wasn't able to get an effective ult down.
And they do not need a jungler to be there because this Lord is uncontended. Mpxnsea. Wow, an unprecedented performance so far. Second Lord in the bag for them, and this one is going to really break some inhibitors.
Yeah, on him, he's got to be careful. He can't get into that 1v1 against Zavs, and whoever presses their Winds of Nature first generally loses the fight. So again, with how Zavs has been playing so far, if he keeps this up, Homebois will eventually crumble under the pressure.
Which is incredible, the fact that he has the presence of mind to realize that opportunity, right? Gold laner flanking around the jungle. I mean, Zavs has definitely shown us his chops as a gold laner.
Yep. Homebois, they seem a little disconnected with a lot of their plays, right? I know they are a team fight composition and they are playing to enable Warlord as much as they possibly can, but right now, Warlord is taking a world of punishment.
The Lord's gonna get the charge off. Mali Chan will be there, looking for some sort of engage if there is one. They want the mid-inhibitor first. Decent knockup. Chibi sent up in the air. The Lord will take care of the rest. Mpxnsea cracking open the Homebois space.
Well, they're gonna back off here. There's no need to push even further.
Zav?
I mean, he can bait things out. He's a very mobile hero. Oh.
Barbosa though, maybe not. They found him. Barbosa able to survive. Real manipulation only used a bit defensively. Mali Chan will end up going down. Has the immortality. Sonic will be there to keep him alive. Mali Chan flickering the wrong direction. That might cause him to go down. Maybe not. He's still alive. Yeah. What absolute lunatic to go in for that kill. Sonic, he's gonna get gunned down by Ali, but no, the Guardian Helmet at the very end. The passive to keep him alive. Are you kidding me?
He lives. He lives after all that work. They walk away like nothing even happened here, getting put down and losing a majority of their battle spells, right? But again, this is the time where Homebois likes to fight. The Lord is going to spawn in 70 seconds, but at least they'll have their Purifies off cooldown once it spawns.
And Zav still has the Inspire available as well. He has been holding that battle spell back. But the fact that Mpxnsea walked away with the entire team and only losing one immortality and a flicker, which is going to come back up in 50 seconds, is going to be just in time for the next Lord.
I'll tell you what though, even though they do have these Purifies, yeah is going full damage. He's already got Malefic Roars already set up. He wants the one-shot on him as well as Warlord as quickly as they can. And even if you do have a Purify, it's not going to save you from the double jab.
It saves you from crowd control, but definitely not a one-shot. Or in this case, a knockout punch from Yeah.
It's scary. It's really scary stuff, and I think Homebois are starting to sweat considering that Mpxnsea has been maintaining this lead over them for the past 5 minutes. These next 20 seconds are going to be crucial.
Well, I mean, Mpxnsea, we say that it's a tall task, but they are making it look very, very doable. Just a measly 4,000 gold advantage, and that is going to start losing its importance in the next few minutes, right? 50,000 gold net worth for Mpxnsea in total, but Homebois, they're also hitting their critical mass.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't know whether Homebois, it depends on what Warlord has for his very full build. I can't remember exactly what he has, but I think he went for the traditional glowing wand, Ice Queen's wand, as well as glowing wand. In the meantime, let's see how Sapan, or whether or not Sapan is going to find Hyde. He is deep in enemy lines. He hasn't shown himself at all.
Mpxnsea have been very good with those flanks, and they're going to find Sapan, who has the immortality to work with, but Sapan needs to preserve it, and that would not be possible. Sapan might end up going down. He uses the Petrify, turns into the Black Dragon, but ends up falling. They do lose Yeah, so it's still a 4v4. Mali Chan, how long can you hold the front? Wild Charge Flicker is ready. Zav, he's just going to walk out forward. Sonic Appraisal Grab doesn't get the Lord! Oh, Jimmy gets it and pins Zav to the wall, but Zav is able to gain distance, and now going to town. This Panda is dead. Zav continuing to hop, skip, and jump around Homebois.
Yep, he is awesome. He's huge this game. He is really, really huge, and it's good to see that a gold laner is able to play around how much of a combo starter Homebois has. So many Petrifies, almost gets the kill.
And he wants Warlord. He's actually going to find it. It's a 1-for-1 trade, so Mpxnsea, for sure they lost High, but they are trading numbers with Homebois. They are staggering their respawn. That Lord is going to be taken care of very easily in the bot lane.
We'll see about it. We'll see how this is going to continue to go. As yeah, starting to complete his build. No immortality on his side. Goes for the brute force breastplate, just so that he's able to close the gap even faster. So he already has quantum charge. There's never enough movement speed in this game.
It's actually an incredibly close game. Mpxnsea Now, all the net worth lead is going to start dwindling in significance. Homebois have hit their item spikes, right? We are looking at a post 55k goal net worth for both teams. All about the macro. One thing that Mpxnsea have been able to pull off are these nasty flanks from high, finding good position. Sure, he traced the slide, but he's getting important targets. He got Sabah's immortality. Chibi, let's get the pin on the yeah, but there's no follow-up.
Yeah, there's no follow-up at all. They don't find the angle, and Anip, he might be in some trouble here.
Sonic, Appraisal's Wrath, forces out the wisdom of nature from Anip, and that itself is important.
Oh, no. I mean, he'll eventually get it back up for the upcoming Lord fight. I'm assuming that there is going to be a bit of a Lord dance on top of everything else to buy that extra bit of time. But without Winds of Nature, it's going to be so difficult to win this fight against Obs.
Let's look tougher and tougher, man. Tries to be there, flicker forward, misses the wild charge. Shibi and Wall were able to disengage, but you have to find a way to do it. Zav, he's getting knocked out, but the Furious dive is out of position! Zav! Not at this timing! Mpxnsea just got swooped on by Homebois, and that is 2 dead 50 seconds before the Lord.
I mean, Sabah was trying to find this angle for the longest time, but Zavs has denied him each and every time the attempt has been made. So with that being said, Homebois now at least reinvigorated. Even though they're missing a mid-inhibitor, they can still do things.
Sonic's been knocked back by the heavy spin, but thankfully he's still in a safe position. Should be able to dash to safety. Homebois is looking to at least break one inhibitor. Yeah, can't find a flank. Subfight will be there to get him. The Appraisal's grab used to try and clear the siege minion, and it will be effective. Mpxnsea, they're not done just yet. This next wave, we'll see how much Homebois can do to the inhibitor. Maybe they can break it. 5 more seconds before Zav comes back. Rough waves will be expended. Mpxnsea keeps it alive.
Yep, the full commitment coming in from Hyde, utilizing the rough waves to clear. I think it's important that he does. Even if he doesn't have his ultimate for this upcoming fight, the Lord Dance should be proving more than necessary with a side lane push coming in. And Sabah going to respond.
It has to do with yeah right now. Zav, don't get caught out, not this time. Sonic back in the scene. Lord dangerously low. Both junglers have an equal chance. This is going to be a dice flip. Can Mpxnsea find that opening that they desperately need? Yeah is pulling attention. High on the flank angle, and the Lord is not resetted just yet. They are keeping the aggro with them. Top inhibitor already down thanks to yeah. They're going for the flip onward. Sonic call out. They need to get rid of the Sonic as much as possible. Sonic has the immortality to come right back. Chibi, heavy spin, used, and he gets the Lord. Homebois needed that. 2 dead for the Mpxnsea, and Zav has no opening to fight this.
Oh, that's crazy that it was able to secure that. There's so much going on there, and since we're already 22 minutes into the game, you would expect that at least Mpxnsea know what they're doing, but unfortunately, a 50-50 loss, nothing you can really do about it. They've already lost 2 inhibitors, so I don't know. If Homebois have to drag this out for another 5, I think Mpxnsea might have a very good opportunity to win this game.
The fact that they're just winning out in terms of inhibitor advantage, right, is going to keep them longer in this game. Again, Zav, he is going to be the crucial member. He does have the Rose Gold meter already, so bursting him will not be a straightforward of an option, but Homebois will eventually get this mid inhibitor. Sonic and Mali, they are going to come back, so Mpxnsea still have one last chance to hold on to this Black Dragon form used by Subbar. Real manipulation is going to be there. Zav will be knocked away by Chibi, pinned into the wall by the heavy spin. There's no follow-up from Homebois to take care of Zav, and he gets to unleash that ultimate. The crossbow tag, Winter Trunkin used by Chibi to stay alive. Subbar knocking on the crystal. The Lord doing the same. Mpxnsea needs to do it, the Lord, but they all fall. And Homebois make a comeback in game 1 to take it from Mpxnsea.
Woo, what a tough game that was. You can see that even Warlord's eyes is like, man, I had to look everywhere, every single spot.